Wrestling POV content may not be suitable to some audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV content may not be suitable to some audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to modern audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to modern audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to some audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable.
Pretty much came with a rap across the knuckles saying, "Quit being such a douchebag" to the guys over on WPOV. Elio, I have met a million bad guys who are some of the nicest dudes in the world, and I've met a ton of faces who are total jerk-offs. I think this is great for New Japan. Losing him would have been a bit of a blow too, I think.
AEW is doing so much talking, I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean, buddy. I know what you mean.
They're doing an awful lot of talking for a company that no one's really seen anything from.
Is Kushida going to be Nakamura, or is he going to be? Is he going to break out from the pack?
To license it.
This is too much for my head. My head's going to blow up here.
Okay.
We've got puppets. We got Miguel. We got the masturbating puppet in the thing.
I mean, he's sending me. He keeps texting me a picture of him giving me the finger. What the hell?
Hey fans, welcome back to another edition of WPOV Global. I'm one of your hosts, the legend T. James Logan. With me, my cohort, the gentleman himself,
Elio Canella.
Elio.
Yes,
now, you know
sir.
what, Elio? It has been a rough week for me, I'm going to have to admit.
Oh, no.
I received a letter, an actual letter with a stamp, which amazed me, from the WPOV president.
Oh, El Presidente.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let's say it pretty much came with a rap across the knuckles saying, "Quit being such a douchebag" to the guys over on WPOV.
Oh, no.
Apparently, he thought I was a little bit inappropriate by saying that, they all had the flu and they were legitimately sick. And I shouldn't point out how us rough and ready, good-looking Canadians battling minus 30 still managed to come out and do their episode.
Well, I was trying to
I'm not
save
supposed
you
to talk
last
about
week.
that.
I was trying to save you last week.
You did too, and I just did it again, didn't I? Well, okay, folks. Let's try this again. Welcome to WPOV Global. I'm your host, the legend T. James Logan. With me, the gentleman,
Elio Canella.
Elio, you know what, Elio? We're going to get into rumblings right away. I always laugh at this. Because sometimes I'm like looking through the thing through the week thinking, oh, there's not a lot of news. What am I going to do? And then, boom, it always seems to fill up because that's how active the world of indie wrestling is.
I know.
This
You
week,
like it starts out with nothing, then by the end of the week,
Yeah.
you got all these news.
And I'm glad to say, you know what? There is one part of our rumblings that I'm very happy that is never full. I'm very happy if I don't have to read any of it, and that's injuries. Unfortunately, there is an injury report this week.
Oh.
But I'm going to start off with the ultimate injury. Let's talk about a death right now. The death of Pedro Morales,
Yes.
WWE legend.
Pedro Morales, he passed away today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I saw the breaking news.
I got, you know what? I'm going to explain to some of the internet fans who may be younger. And I grew up in a time period in the early 80s of starting to watch wrestling, where I would read those magazines. Yep. And that's where I got all my major news from. So there were many wrestlers like Pedro who I would read about, I would never see, but in my mind and by the things I've seen and read anyways, they created a whole rich thing in my mind. And Pedro Morales was definitely one of those guys who, in my mind, was a tremendous wrestler. I never got to see him wrestle. I mean, I did see one or two films later on, but never when I was young.
Mostly on TV.
Yeah, and by the time I started really getting into wrestling, he was on the very tail end of his career, and but this is a man who He held the world title and the intercontinental title. That was a rarity back in the day. I mean, these days we see a title change every 3 months, but back in those days, you did not see many title changes, and he was definitely one of the most interesting, most well-loved and respected men.
And
in
on
WWE.
some websites, I've seen like where they reported this. Now, this is what I don't like about the newer fans of today is whenever we report a death like Pedro Morales,
Yeah.
they just don't care. Like they'll post some really like stupid comments. Sometimes it's really one or two words that can't be repeated on air.
Well, that's people showing no respect, and
Yeah,
you know what? It doesn't matter if the guy was a good guy, a bad guy, by that I mean a heel or a face. Because let's face it, Elio, I have met a million bad guys who are some of the nicest dudes in the world, and I've met a ton of faces who are total jerk-offs. So you never really know. You can't judge a person by the character they play. But if they invest in you, if you've invested in them, if you've hated them because of what they've done, or you love them for what they've done, well, they've done their job. And I think it's a great disrespect for anybody to talk crap about Pedro Morales.
Like
because
if you don't know who Pedro Morales is,
you
just read about him on the internet. Well, no, go on and find a couple of videos on YouTube. There's a whole bunch on YouTube.
Yeah,
Just go see some of his matches.
And all I can say too is if you don't know who he is and you don't want to look him up, well then just shut up. If you don't know who the guy is, don't trash talk about someone who's dead. That's a lowest form of, I don't know, I find that disgusting.
Yep. Oh, I am on Periscope. I'm on Periscope. I got a question asking what happened. So, breaking news today: legend WWE legend and former Intercontinental Champion Pedro Morales passed away.
Yeah. And like I said, kids, check him out if you're interested in the rich history of and let's face it was the WWF back then, even as far as WWF.
I don't know.
Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
I don't know. WWE, WWF, it's the same thing to me.
Oh, it is. But you also remember, too, is WWF.
Yes.
Predated WWF. So
previous to that, it was the Capital Wrestling Federation.
And previous to that was cavemen beating each other with stones. No, Caveman 2 was a heck of a heel. Anyways, no, getting back to stuff. Pedro Morales, yes, that is our lead-off news item. Very sad thing that I think, anyways. I'm going to stick with the WWE right now. And usually we don't report WWE news, but I'm going to report an NXT news from WWE. It seems that Tommaso Ciampa will be wrestling March 15th for Chaotic Wrestling. How great is that? Chaotic Wrestling's got a one-night stint with Tommaso Ciampa.
Chaotic Wrestling.
Yeah, out of Massachusetts.
Okay. All right. Okay. I've never seen that. I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, once again, there's so many things out there. I don't know if they have regular shows or not. I've heard of Chaotic, have not seen them, but I just think it's great the WWE loaning out their NXT heavyweight champion for one night. Now, I'm going to move on to some news over to New Japan Wrestling. The only bit of news I'm going to take out of there this week, as we saw on the New Beginning show, Kota Ibushi says he is staying with the company. There's been so many rumors that maybe AEW would pick him up. I think this is great for New Japan. Losing him would have been a bit of a blow too, I think.
AEW is doing so much talking, I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean, buddy. I know what you mean. Moving on to Major League Wrestling. It seems that their main show, Fusion, has a time slot move. It'll be moving for it's currently at Fridays at 7 o'clock. It's moving Saturdays to 8 o'clock. Oh. Not sure how that'll affect our coverage of it, but MLW hopefully getting a better time slot.
I miss Saturday Night Wrestling. I grew up on that. That was so fun.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, the next Chicago outing for Major League Wrestling is their next big event. I think this is interesting. They've mentioned so far one match that's been signed for it. The Lucha Brothers will be taking on Team AAA, made of Taurus and the Laredo Kid. So that is interesting. We've seen Taurus already, that guy with the goofy looking.
Taurus, yes.
Yeah. Ironically, teaming with the Lucha Brothers last time we've seen him. This time he'll be joining the Laredo Kid and taking on the Lucha Brothers. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see how that Chicago match is going to fill up. That might be an event we'll have to cover straight up on its own block when it does come up.
Okay.
Into ROH news. Recently, there was a big pay-per-view. The what did we call it? Honor Unbound? Is that what was it?
Bound by Honor.
Bound by Honor? Unbound? Okay.
Yeah, Bound by
See,
Honor.
here's the sad thing I'm going to say is as much as I love ROH, sometimes I don't think they promote their pay-per-views quite enough because I didn't even know there was a pay-per-view till after the fact it happened.
And the titles never really stand out. Everything has to do with something with the word honor in it.
Yeah, which is very confusing after a while. You mean it sounds good when you think of 5 or 6, but when you got like how many a year, that's a lot of honor usage.
Yep.
Now, we're not really going to cover that pay-per-view. I took a look at it, skimmed through it. Nothing much of note happened on it except the changing of the ROH Women of Honor Championship.
Oh.
Kelly Klein losing the belt to Japanese wrestler Mayu Iwatani, who I mentioned last week was going to make a special appearance coming up. She actually captured the belt from Kelly Klein.
Wow.
And announced that their big sorry, I'm skipping ahead of myself. Let's move over to Impact. Impact usually has nothing but sad news. Here's an interesting bit of news. Are you ready for this one, Elio?
I'm ready.
I got to get your opinion on this.
Impact Wrestling. Let's go.
Impact main event for April 4th is going to be the Lucha Brothers, which is nothing unusual, taking on Rob Van Dam and Sabu.
Rob Van Dam and Sabu in an extreme death match.
I don't know if it's going to be an extreme death match. I mean, as far as I know, it's just a match with the Lucha Brothers. But
no, you know, I have to say, see, is this really all? Seems like this is all they're really good for, is doing these like extreme matches, and that's it. That's why they bring them in. I don't know, like why they're wasting time on this.
I don't know. I guess flogging names out, Impact needs something. But I mean, Rob Van Dam can still wrestle, I think.
Right.
Sabu, I don't know so much at his age and the punishment he put on his body, if what he does anymore is called wrestling, if it's just him hurting himself. And with the Lucha Brothers, I mean, there's a potential here to be a great match. There's also potential for this to be a stinker.
I've never really been a fan of Sabu at all.
No? Well, one of the interesting things is the hype to this match. Impact had been claiming that they were about to unleash a former Impact or TNA world champion. And what was it going to be? They went for a couple weeks about this, and that was Rob Van Dam, who had a very small stint as Impact champion. So,
I remember that vaguely, though.
Now, before we get into the rumors of the week, I have one injury to report. Not liking this injury. Not sure how serious, not how if this is serious, this really affects a lot of companies. But Ray Phoenix, possible concussion this week.
Ray Phoenix, that's Phoenix, Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah, the Lucha Brothers. Could you imagine right now?
Was that on the most recent episode of Impact or no?
No. This happened in a smaller company in Texas. Like he was doing. I can't remember at the moment, but I'm going to look it up again. But it was not one of the major companies.
Oh, okay.
But imagine the repercussions right now. The Lucha Brothers are a hot act. Everyone's booking them left and right.
Yeah.
They just won the Impact World belts, right?
Yep.
The tag team belts.
Yep.
Him going out with more than a serious concussion, that's going to suck.
Yeah.
At least. So, you know what? Elio has decided that he is going to conquer the rumors on our rumbling. Throw some rumors at me, Elio. What's going on out there?
Okay, so obviously I'm going to have to report on the Kota Ibushi because we know he's not going anywhere. Now, one of the rumors is that AEW is down to 2 potential television partners, and if they can close the deal, it will likely be the best deal cut by a promotion after WWE, and since WCW was on TNT in the late 90s.
Well, I would hope so. That was a lot of money those companies got.
And then,
so you're saying that the rumor is that they might get more money than ABC Wrestling or 123 Wrestling or Cable 6 Wrestling?
They're doing an awful lot of talking for a company that no one's really seen anything from yet.
I know. Yeah. Go on with the news. Go with the rumors. We'll get into AEW another time.
Sticking with this company, apparently Dean Ambrose is friends with Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes, and sounds like a possible landing place for him. But that's a rumor I can see. Dean Ambrose has turned down offers from the WWE because of his contract expiring. There is no 90-day non-compete clause. Mm-hmm. He could, by any means, be on the first AEW card. I
I think that's probably for him a good idea. I mean, even if it's a quick money grab, he's already burnt his bridge with WWE.
Yep.
So I think he's a name.
Yep.
And, I mean, sure, Chris Jericho is a name, but the man's old and he hasn't wrestled for, full time for quite a while.
And of course, they already got their schedule set up.
Yeah.
Their pay-per-views.
Anything else you got in there in the old rumor mill?
That's it for rumors here.
Alrighty. Well, you know what? I forgot to talk about our poll.
Yes,
and that's a poll. We talked the fans we were going to do this 2 weeks ago, but then we got all caught up in the good old Walter invasion. So this week, we had run a poll asking fans if they thought Kushida, who has recently signed, and did you know what? I saw a picture 2 days ago of him with the new class of WWE recruits at the training center, and he's in there. So the question was this: does he have a chance to be a breakout star in WWE? Or is he going to end up like a lot of the Oriental wrestlers they brought in? I mean, barely any of them have made a dent, I mean, we joke about people being Nakamura, is Kushida going to be Nakamura, or is he going to be? Is he going to break out from the pack? Well, you know what? This is a thing me and Elio have talked about quite a bit. We both are unsure which way this is going, and it looks like you, the fans in general, are unsure because the poll came back. 54% said he was going to break out. 46% said it was going to be a failure. I believe there was a comment.
No, I think it's the other way around.
What?
It was the other way around. 46%.
What have I been drinking?
46% said it would be a success. 54% said it would be a fail.
Oh wow, you're right. Holy smokes!
54% believe that Kushida's gonna fail in the WWE.
Ouch! I kind of thought he had more gravitas than that. Well, you know what? Miguel Santiago wrote on the comment page, "Great misuse and a whole bunch of angry-looking happy faces." Well, they're not happy faces when they're angry, so that is the fear. That is the fear, isn't it?
Yep, that's the fear. Like that, the writers are gonna take control of the Kushida character and rewrite him to their liking.
Wow, I don't know what to think either. For all I know, they're going to make him come out in a kabuki suit, and maybe he'll be one of those chefs that cooks your food in front of you and flips the shrimp in the hat. Who knows?
We already had one great kabuki in wrestling history. That was back in the 80s and 70s.
Yeah, but that predates all these writers, so who knows what crap they're going to recycle, right? Well, fans, you know what? I honestly didn't think it would be that negative. I misread that with the hope that more of you thought he would actually succeed.
I had to look at it twice myself.
And I'm a little bit brokenhearted. 54% thinking he's going to fail. I think that's a bad indictment on the WWE writers. When a guy who's this talented and the fans know who he is still doesn't think he have a chance, that's got to tell you something, Elio.
Yep. Terrible.
Terrible. You know what? I know I did a lot of ragging on you and accusatory remarks about you and Miguel.
Yes.
But you know what? You did win the last pay-per-view points game. There's another one coming up this weekend. I want to congratulate you, first of all. I know I've been hard. And I'm going to make a confession. I'm going to make a confession right now. The reason, and this isn't my excuse, but the truth of the matter is I didn't really read the rules too much since I've been playing this game, and I don't think I'm playing it properly at all. I didn't realize I could do partial points betting and all this junk. I just thought it was pick, throw everything in, and that's probably why I'm failing miserably. I am going to read the rules. Elio, is there somewhere that these rules are, though?
Well, you can find them on the Wrestling POV podcast Facebook page. If you
That's
go
what
there,
I thought.
Yeah, if you go there, the rules are right there, in black and white. Right
Big Tony, make sure that's pinned, man, because I'm going to go back and I'm going to read those rules and understand them a little clearer. And you know what? Speaking about pay-per-view points game, later on the show I got a little bit of a surprise, a little bit of cool news we'll talk about at near the end segment.
I do have something to say, however.
Yes, you admit to cheating.
From the last
you and Miguel
show.
have been cheating, and
well, hold on. I was a guest on the last show, and Miguel called you psycho little puppet.
Wow.
You turned heel on me on the last show. I have video footage from a security camera. And now I know that you have recently signed with AEW. You're going to be the first puppet to win their World Championship. Well, you better win that championship because it's just going to be a placeholder for when I get to AEW. Because I'm coming for that title and I'm going to take it from you and bring it back to Toronto. And then I'm going to be a double champion. The Wrestling POV World Champion and the AEW World Champion.
Oh my Lord. That is something. You know what? And you know what? Because you're a human and he's a puppet,
Yep.
I think we should enlist our own puppet to go after him. And I say we get that little midget puppet from TNA back in the day, the one who was masturbating in the garbage can. That's the puppet we're sending after you, Miguel. So you better watch yourself.
Well, and also, I did have a word with the vice presidents over at AEW, and they have told me that, and they have allowed me to pick the stipulation for the match. It's going to be a last puppet standing match.
A last puppet? Wow, I'm not even going to get into the fact that you're not a puppet, but wow, last puppet standing.
No, that's why we're enlisting help from outside of Wrestling POV.
I don't know what to say. I'm kind of aghast. I think the only thing I can do at this moment, this is too much for my head. My head's going to blow up here. Okay. We've got puppets. We got Miguel. We got the masturbating puppet in the thing.
I mean, he's sending me. He keeps texting me a picture of him giving me the finger. What the hell?
Wow. Okay, I am not even going to get involved in this one. Me and Miguel have had our differences. Elio, you're on your own. You may be my partner here, but I'm tagging out of this one, pal. Good luck on your last puppet standing match. Yikes.
Thanks for leaving me hanging, TJ.
I have to. That Miguel is a freaking psycho. I don't know what's up his butt. I don't know whose hand, but he is one crazy puppet. Why don't we move on to New Japan Wrestling? I got to talk some wrestling before my head blows up, okay?
All right.
Puppets, AEW, who knows what other nonsense we got. New Japan Wrestling. Finally, the new beginning. Mm-hmm. We've seen a lot of the roads to new beginning. The new beginning, sorry?
So many roads.
So many roads, one ending.
Right, like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4.
New Japan seems to do that sometimes. Yeah. I mean, this year the World Tag League was insane. I mean, they had so many damn matches. It was people just hated tag team wrestling by the end of it. But let's talk about New Beginning. We saw lots of stuff leading up to it.
Yes.
I'm going to focus in on 2 matches. The first one, Ishii. Oh, I said his name wrong, didn't I? It's it's Ishimori
versus Taguchi.
And Ishimori defending his IWGP Junior Heavyweight title against Ryosuke Taguchi. Yep. Now, Ishimori is he is a part of the Bullet Club. For people who don't recognize him right off the bat, he is that angry little guy with the kind of black mark painted on his face. He's called the Bone Soldier. Comes out with a scary mask.
The Bone Soldier.
Yeah, he's only about 5
for the fans on Periscope.
Yeah, he's about 5'6", 5'5". He is built like blocky big. He's for a small man. He is massive, muscled, and he moves like it is explosive, quick. Yeah. He's got to be one of the fastest wrestlers I've seen in a long time. He does a lot of crazy in out of the ring stuff to get things going. And Taguchi, now, I don't know how familiar you are with Taguchi. And over the years, Taguchi has basically been a wrestler. I would call him a 2-sided wrestler, okay? Yep. Sometimes he is the coach. He comes out there and he does all this goofy crap and he's running around throwing his butt at people and doing all kinds of comedy junk. But every now and then, you see him come out and put on, to remind you that this guy has talent. And this was a match where Taguchi came prepared, man. I totally bought that he could have won that belt and been a credible champion. He was incredible this night. He really geared it up.
Great match.
Anything stick out?
I have a question. When he came out, what was that earpiece or whatever that he was wearing to the ring?
Taguchi?
Yeah. On his left ear, he had one of those little microphones.
Yeah, he's just a weird dude. He comes out with all kinds of junk. Sometimes it's baseball junk.
The one thing that stood out for me was the 3, I think it was 2 or 3 bloody crosses that he took from Ishimori.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He He really stepped up, but Ishimori is just looking great right now. I think he's been a great addition to New Japan, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more from him in a spotlight. I think the guy deserves it.
Yeah. Also, when Ishimori went to the top rope, he went for one of his moves, landed right on Taguchi's knees. Taguchi has knees up. Yeah.
It's wow, tough, hard hitting guy, very credible. I enjoy his stuff. I'm a little bit now. I want to talk about the next match. I'm going to talk about is the main event, of course.
Okay.
Everything was leading up to this. Jay White versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Tanahashi making his first title defense after beating Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yep.
Jay White, the Switchblade, wins the belt. And I want to point out something. As much as we've been hard on Jay White, or maybe not seeing a lot in him, it's very important to note he did not cheat to win this belt. He had it wasn't like, Tanahashi's foot was on the rope or the referee missed something. It was a pretty conclusive win.
Yeah, and I didn't even see any interference from Gato.
Yeah. I mean, Gato interfered a little bit in the beginning of the match, or tried to. But that was all Jay White at the end.
Not so much that
it made a difference.
Yeah.
And, of course, Jay White got on the mic and said, hey, years ago when I left here as a young lion, I said you guys were all my family and blah, blah. And he says, well, I was wrong. I hate every one of you. I'd spit in your face if I could. You guys thought I couldn't do it. Go to hell. I've beaten everybody. Yeah, he was. He healed it up pretty good at the end of that.
Taking lessons from Miguel Cole.
I gotta ask you, in your opinion, I know you're not a big fan of the Jay White.
No.
Who do you think is going to be a great wrestler for him to defend that title against?
Oh, wow.
Who do you hope to see him fight?
I can't really say right now. I can't really think of anyone off the top of my head right now.
I'm thinking I want to see Naito. I think that would be an interesting battle.
Isn't he the Intercontinental Champion?
Yeah, but I mean, why not? Why not go after the big belt? There's
Naito,
a few really... how about Ibushi? Ibushi's still hanging out there.
Ibushi,
Kota Ibushi might be a good matchup there. It's going to be interesting to see. Jay White really stormed through this last year.
Well, is he Bullet Club?
He is now the leader of the Bullet Club too.
Is Ishimori still Bullet Club though, right?
Ishimori is still Bullet Club.
I was gonna say, wait, you always have Ishimori and White.
I got to tell you this is, it's a big rarity.
Yeah.
That they have junior heavyweights fight heavyweights in New Japan.
Oh, okay.
They're pretty heavy duty about that weight restriction, right?
Oh, okay. All right.
They figure if you're under 200 pounds, you don't really deserve to be in the heavyweight thing. That's a whole different ballgame.
Rey Mysterio won the world championship.
Yeah, but he wasn't in IWGP now, was he?
That's true.
Now, fans. One of the things I want to point out for all the fans who have New Japan World or have access to get links from New Japan World, I watched recently a 5-part mini documentary. It's only 5 parts. Each part's maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And it is the history of the Bullet Club. Right from the very beginning of Prince Devitt forming it to today's faction of the Tongans and Jay White.
Where can we find that one? Because I'd be interested in seeing that.
If you got New Japan, if you don't, like the websites we use to sometimes get our things, there is a link in there to watch all of those.
They have a link on those sites?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. You can find it. And maybe even looking on YouTube. I'm not sure, but I think New Japan might have it on there because it's only a small promo thing, but it's 5 episodes and it's great. I mean, it goes through the Prince Devitt's the first year. So that's, for you who's wondering, that's Finn Balor. Mm-hmm. Then when he left, part 2 is all about AJ Styles leading the group. Part 3 is about Kenny Omega. Part 4 is about the civil war between Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega. And then part 5 is the whole new Jay White stuff. It's really cool.
Speaking of New Japan, the best friends I saw a picture of this online somewhere. Apparently, they showed up at an event. They paid tribute to the Outsiders, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. They were dressed up as Hall and Nash.
Who is that was?
The Best Friends.
Oh, the Best Friends.
They paid tribute to...
I forgot. Actually, that is a rumor that I haven't been able to confirm yet, that the Best Friends may be done at New Japan. We might not see them in New Japan anymore. They might strictly be in ROH, so... I'm not sure about that one. That's one I'm going to dig for next week. We'll find out for sure by next week.
It was hilarious. They were impersonating Scott Hall and Kevin Nash
That's awesome.
when they
That's awesome.
invaded the WCW.
Well, the whole face now of New Japan has definitely changed. With Jay White being the champion, this opens up a whole slew of new contenders.
Yep.
And I think we'll be in for some interesting matchups in the times to come.
Now,
But I want to move on.
what's the next
Sorry?
show? What's the next show after this?
They have not announced the next one yet.
All right.
Now, I'm sure, like all you New Japan nerds who are really into it, probably know it's always the same shows every year.
Yeah.
But we're going to look forward to seeing what's coming up. Next, I think we want to go over to England, where our good friend Elio is going to talk about NXT UK.
NXT UK. Okay, so here we go. So NXT UK opens up with. Now we saw this guy a couple of weeks ago, or I think it was last week. I don't remember, but Ligero versus Mark Andrews.
Or Mandrews, as they used to call
Mandrews.
it. Back.
So this one was basically a back and forth match that went both in and out of the ring. Saw a series of flip dives on the outside. Ligero hit a stunner, then Andrews hit one of his own. A reverse hurricanrana by Andrews. Andrews was looking to put Ligero away, but Ligero hit the C4L Tornado DDT for the win.
Now here's a weird thing. Ligero is a weird looking dude. And that thing he's wearing on his head is ridiculous. He's the only guy who I know who's wearing a mask and looks like an old man wearing a mask. How old is this dude?
I don't know, but you know what? I am not. No, Ligero, I'm not liking you. We told you we were keeping our eye on you.
Yep, we are keeping our eye on you, Ligero. Mark Andrews, well, he's an okay guy. He's a good wrestler. He's fast, good tempo match. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I actually thought Andrews was going to win, so I was very surprised that Ligero won. What's next?
And the next match, we had Zaya Brookside, the daughter of Robbie Brookside, who, for fans of William Regal, he trained alongside William Regal in Blackpool, England. Mm-hmm. I read Regal's book.
Okay. and now she took on some girl named Candy Crush or something?
It was Zaya Brookside taking on Candy Floss.
Candy Floss. Okay, first of all, this is one thing I didn't understand, is these were these two bubbly, cute, chippy...
Yep.
I don't even know what to call them. Like,
apparently, Candy Floss is 19 and Zaya is like 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it was hard for me to decide who to cheer on. I mean, everyone, I guess, was supposed to cheer Zaya just because of who she was. But, I mean, Candy Crush, that's what I'm going to call her for now. Candy Crush.
Candy Crush.
Candy Crush, she was so cute and she didn't really cheat, so it was hard to figure out who to cheer for.
Well, none of them did that, really.
There really wasn't a lot going on in this match.
No, basically, it was a handshake at the beginning, Candy with a head scissors, Zaya gets out with a couple of near falls, a full Nelson by Candy, a bulldog by Zaya, then flying head scissors and double knees in the corner, and Zaya finished it off with
wake me up. Is it over? Is that match over?
No, it was actually the ending was where it got interesting because Rhea Ripley came out.
Yeah, well, before we get into that, I gotta say the only thing that kept me awake in this whole match is the fact that Candy Crush had some really small shorts on and she was that attractive. Yeah. If it hadn't been for that, that was a boring ass match.
Why are these women's matches sort of really boring lately?
Lately, it's up or down with the NXT UK.
One week they're good, next week they're not good.
Yeah. This one I'm going to go under not good. The ending, Rhea Ripley coming out, beating the crap out of them, and then Toni Storm coming out, and then getting laid out by Rhea Ripley. Jeez. I'm digging Rhea Ripley.
We know who's gonna win we know who's gonna take the NXT Women's Championship belt back.
Do you think so? I hope so. I like Rhea Ripley a lot. Toni Storm, though, I do like her, but it seems like I haven't seen very much of her lately.
And we can't say that she's too young to be a champion because they're both the same age. They're both 22.
Yeah, and they're both Australian, which is odd, too.
I know, isn't it Rhea Ripley from England?
Australian. She's Australian too? Yeah, they're both from Australia.
All right.
Rhea Ripley, she's a really tall girl. I don't know. There's something about her I dig. I like Rhea Ripley. And Toni Storm, well... I hope you show me a little bit more because right now I'm just not digging you as much as a champion. Kind of hoping Rhea Ripley kind of ripples you apart, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's why. That's why a couple of weeks back when you asked me, when we did our top 5 and our 2 women, I said I wanted to see Nina Samuels. You thought I was going to say Toni Storm?
Yeah, because she had something going on.
These are where I didn't really take.
This is where you start zonking out, didn't you?
You can tell because I didn't really take any bullets for these ones, but we had Joseph Connors defeating Mike Hitchman. Now I have to say, the Wild Boar. This guy, what he wore to the ring was ridiculous.
Everything about this guy was ridiculous. You know what? I'm going to say this. This match sucked. Let's move on.
That's it. Then we had Gallows coming out for back-to-back matches. Joe Coffey defeating Ashton Smith. This guy looked a little like Ricochet, I noticed.
Yeah. Joe Coffey kind of reminds me a bit of, in a way. I don't know if you saw that. He's got that kind of squat, kind of muscular thing.
Yeah.
I guess this is, I think, a big lead up for Joe Coffey eventually versus Walter. I think that's coming up, and then I think Walter might be being fast tracked to be the next UK champion. I can see that.
Oh, so Joseph Connor, Joe Coffey defeated Ashton Smith. Mark Coffey didn't have
with Walter.
Much luck.
Now Joe Coffey,
Walter
Joe Coffey came out looking good. His brother kind of did not look so good. Walter kind of made him his own private bitch that day, and let's just face it, Walter is headed to the top.
I don't know
Walter's headed to the top.
I don't know what he was. I don't know what Walter was doing in the corner. Like he had on the corner, he kept driving his knees in him.
Walter's kind of a weird guy to figure out right now. I'm not sure how WWE is going to handle this guy.
And after all the punishment that he took, he kept taunting Mark and telling him to hit him again. He kept Walter just stood there.
I don't know. We see that a lot in Japan. Let's just call that fighting spirit or thick head. Yep. Either way, it's odd. It's odd. But as you say, Walter winning this match, I'm going to have to say this episode kind of fell a bit along the lines of a snoozer. Bit of a snooze fest. I started losing interest. Yes. I had to watch this 2 or 3 times to get through it. Not cool for a show. All right, you know what? Let's move on to ROH. And we're going to go really quickly because we've been going a little bit long on time today. So ROH, only 2 matches, one of which was kind of a squash. You knew it was going to be. You had this team of, and if I get these names wrong, who cares? They're sort of jobbers. John Schuyler. Okay, I got John Schuyler, Corey Hollis, and Josie Quinn.
Corey Hollis. Okay.
Yeah, that weird one-eyed mask thing. What the hell was that?
Okay, 50 Shades of Grey.
Elio, does your mom know you're reading that book? Anyhow, wait till she finds out I loaned it to you. Anyways, they shoot their mouth off, saying they can beat any 3-man thing. Part of me was hoping it would be the Kingdom come out. That would have been interesting. However, Villain Enterprises, PCO, Marty Skrull, and Brody King come out. Bronies. Oh, isn't he like a machine?
I'm such a fan of PCO.
The guy's crazy. Okay, half his head shaved. And did you see the part where he flipped off the rope, bounced off the side of the rope, lands on the floor, then gets up and goes, no! Just oh my God, this guy's a machine. He's 51 years old and he's taking bumps more than most people. Love him.
And with the camera zooms out, he has this look like he's lost. He's
one thing, this will probably destroy the mythos of it a bit, but the reason he looks so crazy is because remember, he only has one eye. He has a glass eye in the other, so it's not reacting the same, so it gives him this really messed up look. Props though, did you see what the kind of the cannonball through the middle rope that he did? He went running and did a flip cannonball through the ropes on. Holy crap, dude! You're humongous. I love PCO. I really do.
I'm a fan of the guy.
I hated him back in the day of Jean-Pierre Lafitte, but man, I am digging PCO right now. Okay, he is something. Okay, and our next... Okay, that ended up with, of course, the Kingdom coming out and their usual nonsense and balloons and let's threaten each other sort of deal. So obviously they're on a head-on collision.
Yeah.
Then, man, I gotta say, if you thought NXT UK was boring, at least there were 3 or 4 different matches to bore you. But Nick Aldis and PJ Black, oh my lord, this was like work this week. It was so slow.
Yeah, it was
I've met Nick Aldis. I've seen him wrestle live a few times.
Yeah.
Better than this. My goodness. I don't even know what to say. I was really not liking this at all. And I still don't understand why in the hell they're showing us the NWA title being defended on ROH TV. ROH has its own world champion. What happened to PJ Black? He aged for 50 years in the last 5? Like, holy crap, you look like some old scary man out there. And the way he wrestles now, this match was definitely...
I'm not a fan.
And it made the first match, which was, PCO was the only cool thing. The ending,
I did like the ending.
Oh...
No. The end of ROH last segment.
I kind of bored out after a while. Oh, the lifeblood thing. Oh, geez, totally forgot about that. Do you think that's going to be much of a thing? We got Juice Robinson. You've got Dave Finlay, Tennille Dashwood, Tracy Williams, Mark Haskins, and Bandito. That's quite the mix of people. Half those people bore the crap out of me, so we'll see what's going to happen.
No, I'm saying I like the end, the way it was presented, but
I'll
then
give it
I
that.
don't know, we have to see
This week's episode. I'm going to have to give it a kind of a thumbs more down than up because, man, my lifeblood. I thought NXT UK put me to sleep. This sucked out my lifeblood. Nick Aldis, I want my lifeblood back. You sucked out my lifeblood.
No,
well, you know what?
The opening match was
so you
good.
know what, fans, we're going to take a quick break right now, and when we come back, we're going to look at some more wrestling, and we'll see you folks back in a minute.
Hello, this is Miguel Cole from the Wrestling POV podcast. Wrestling POV and Wrestling POV Global is affiliated with the Collar and Elbow brand. Go to collarandelbowbrand.com and save yourself 10% by using promo code WPOV. Collar and Elbow has t-shirts, hoodies, sunglasses, and more. And the best part, you're helping out your local indie wrestlers. And you're helping out the best wrestling podcast of all, Wrestling POV and Wrestling POV Global. You don't want to miss out. So save yourself 10% by using promo code WPOV. Oh my goodness!
This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to the Wrestling POV podcast.
Hey fans, welcome back. Elio, I had to go bang my face into the fridge for a few minutes. The idea of NXT and ROH's main event on the same night, it killed me, man. I had to just bang my face to make sure I was alive.
I know. How's your face?
Well, you know what? Curiously handsomer than it started.
Okay.
Anyways, speaking about usually things that are right out of the toilet, let's head over to Impact.
Okay.
Tell us a bit about Impact.
Impact, once again, we're in Mexico City, and we start with... Okay, this week's edition of Impact actually made me somewhat happy because in tag team action we had Rich Swann and Willie Mack defeating OVE.
Not too bad of a match. I'm going to say something here I may regret. You may hate me for this, but I kind of saw a little potential in Jake Christ. I know you're stunned right now. His brother is still absolute garbage. But there's a tiny bit of something there, maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, my TJ Logan is going to the dark side. He's slowly transitioning.
Bear in mind, I went through a lot of boring-ass wrestling, so maybe this affected my brain chemistry somehow. Willie Mack and Rich Swann taking out the trash.
Yep.
OVE, definitely the trash. Next match,
I'm just going to say...
Yeah, say the girls. I know they're
I'm just going to say Kira Hogan with a swinging neck breaker for the win. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to bother with that.
Drek, Dark Alley.
Then, of course, we had the announcement of Uncaged, which takes place on February 15th. There's going to be a 4-way match for the World Championship.
Aren't you sick of these 4 dudes?
I am so tired of this match.
John Morrison, Brian Cage. Sorry, I should have said Johnny Impact.
Brian Cage, Moose, and who's the
Killer Cross.
Killer
Cross.
You know what? Yeah, I'm so done with all of these 4 guys.
I don't want any 4 of these idiots to win. I'm sick of them.
No,
we were sick of them last week, for God's sakes. Moving on.
Moving on, we have...
Was it Trey Miguel of the Rascals,
It was Trey Miguel defeating Rohit Raju with a 619 and the double knees off the top rope.
I got to say this right now. I may not be a fan of the Rascals' presentation.
Yep.
Trey Miguel put on a pretty good match. Mm-hmm. And I know I've been really hard on Rohit Rag or whatever his name is.
Rohit Raju.
Okay. He was pretty darn impressive this week. I was impressed with his wrestling. Mm-hmm. That guy, I can see now maybe why Gamma Singh has invested in him. I'm now more curious to see where he's going to go because this is probably the best I've seen that guy ever wrestle, and I was impressed.
Okay. But I gotta say, like, I'm not a fan. I'm not like a big fan of these Rascals, like their whole presentation. But like individually, they're good.
They're talented.
Like, yeah,
gotta give them that.
Xavier, Trey Miguel.
Hey, speaking of large pieces of crap, Sami Callihan and Puma King. God, this is a match I never wanted to see. God, I hope I never have to see it again. Both these guys, I can't stand Puma King. He's not very. He's ugh.
No, I'm just gonna say Callahan hit the pile driver for the win. That's it.
Ugh. Callahan. Blah.
And
Let's go on. Move on.
And of course, in the main event, we have new tag team champions with the Lucha Brothers defeating LAX after they landed 3 Fear Factor pile drivers on Santana.
Wow. What an impressive match. All 4 of these guys looked incredible in there. Phoenix with that spinning kick of his, like he runs up the turnbuckle and spins and kicks you. Looks cool. I am a little tired of the whole zero, whatever that thing he's doing with his hand, Pentagon, but Pentagon's solid. LAX, I have never been more impressed with those 2 guys as I was in this match. These dudes, and Santana, holy, you have to beat him with a cinder block to keep that guy down. He took a lot of punishment.
What do you think? Are we done here, or I think because we have new champions, right? Yeah,
I think this will be the blow off. I think it would be smart to end this one now.
Yep.
Because it's Impact and they're not smart, it probably is not the end of it. So we'll probably see this for another 6 months. But this match, wow. Impact, this show, I'm going to have to say, surprisingly to me, delivered more than ROH and delivered more than NXT UK this week. So far, Impact...
We have, what day is it today? Today's the 12th. We have to mark this date down as us giving Impact a thumbs up for once.
Yeah, well, hold on. We still have MLW to talk about, so it's not like they beat everybody this week.
That's true. So far, Impact's winning, though.
Hey, the fact they beat any other show this week is pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's write that down. You know what? Moving over to Major League Wrestling, MLW, only, a few matches here, okay? Myron Reed defeating DJZ. Myron Reed, DJZ, remember him back in the day?
From Impact Wrestling, yep.
I actually enjoy DJZ in this match a lot. His style has changed. He's no longer the big high flyer. He's more of a ground base.
Did he come out with that stupid air horn?
No, he came out with a helmet, like, you know those like Dead Mouse? Like those raver dudes with like a big helmet with lights, and he looked like he walked off like some kind of light bright show, and he looked ridiculous, but it was fun.
I swear, when it was him and Robbie E and Jesse Goddard with that stupid air horn.
That noise came out a little bit once, I think. Myron Reed, very nondescript fella who actually I think they might give a push to because he really he wrestled okay in here. He had a lot of moves where he last minute turned into cutters and things like that. Ends up with a little bit of trunks. Grabbed the trunks for the old win. Taking out DJZ. DJZ, I was sad to see that because I enjoyed DJZ's wrestling this episode. I thought that was it. Style I don't see much, and I liked his approach.
Yeah, DJZ is pretty impressive.
Now, I know you love this. 2 of your favorite guys, Gringo Loco, defeating Puma King.
I'm sure you're mistaken about that.
La Mexican Lucha Loser 1 versus Mexican Lucha Loser 2.
Oh, no.
Okay, there's a point in this match where Gringo Loco does some kind of thing where he gets into the corner and then does like 2 forward kind of somersault rolls. And dude, I swear, They were so slow that you could have ran around him 3 times while he was doing his little thing. And then when he got up, he didn't know where he was. It was obvious he'd lost his bearings.
Wow.
It is so bad. Now, I know you didn't catch this match this week. It is terrible. It goes in, if we had match of crapalistics, this is a crapalistic match.
Oh, okay.
Okay? The main event. My goodness. Brian Pillman Jr. gets to name his mystery partner against Tommy Dreamer's mystery partner.
Oh, no,
and Tommy
I'm
Dreamer,
afraid.
yeah, Tommy Dreamer, being the genius that he is, brings out decrepit old Sandman. Well, Brian Pillman Jr. brings out Davey Boy Smith Jr. Gee, I wonder who's going to win this match.
That's a surprise, right? Because they're not already the Hart Foundation unit, right?
Yeah. This match wasn't very good. But it was interesting, I guess, in some ways. It was kind of the factor of seeing... Now, I'm sick of Tommy Dreamer. I don't mind seeing Sandman once every year or two, so that was okay. Brian Pillman, you know what? He gave a little more than I've seen in him, and maybe the guy does have some potential, because sometimes I'm down on him. I'm definitely down on his promos, especially the ones with Teddy Hart.
No, his promos are terrible.
Oh, they recently did a one in this show where the two of them were talking about cats again. And Teddy starts talking about how he can't talk about pussy on air because he's always surrounded by pussy because his cats. And it was just terrible. Terrible stuff. I know you're shaking your head dying over there, but it was bad. You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to say that this week, Impact was the better of all the other shows that we saw.
Yeah, Impact wins this week.
No, wait. Not if we count New Japan.
Okay.
New Japan, New Beginning definitely was a super strong card. But when it comes to weekly episodic shows, Impact wins this week because MLW kind of half-assed too. So fans, those are the roundups of the matches and the shows that we've seen for this week.
I told you to mark this date down.
We're going to have to. That's some crazy stuff.
We gave it to Impact for the week. Wow.
Now, I want to talk about a few things. First of all, we have started, like a Wrestling POV is going to be doing all the time, is a book where we're going to put matches in that we think might be matches of the year candidates. I think there was one this week that deserves to be there.
Vault. Yep.
Let's open that vault. Are you going to? If you agree with me, you're going to have to write it down and record it into our vault. Okay.
Okay.
The match that I nominate to be in this.
I'm going to have to open the app, the Grapple app.
Okay, this is it. Ready? The match I nominate is the Lucha Brothers winning the belts from LAX. I think that was one of the best tag team matches I've seen in a long time.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yes.
Shall we put it into the vault?
I think we should put that one into the vault.
Bam! In the vault it is, ladies and gentlemen. And now, Elio, pull out the Book of Shame.
Will do. Let's see what we got here.
The Book of Shame. It's sad in this day and age that we have to do it. The Book of Shame, remember? Wrestlers that...
Let us see the Book of Shame.
Now, what we're looking at, folks, is wrestlers who are so shameful, so embarrassing, so... I don't know. The Book of Shame pretty much says itself.
TJ, I have the Book of Shame open in front of me.
The Book of Shame is open. All right. Elio, please start reading who's so far in the Book of Shame and see if they still deserve to be there.
So far, we have Facade, whose entire persona is a facade.
Facade, I say he stays in.
I meant to say that, by the way.
I know you did.
That, by the way.
Now, what do you think? Facade, does he stay in?
No, he stays in because
totally.
Until he changes his stupid ring.
Until he dies in a tragic car accident. No, sorry. Go on next.
Next, we have Tommy Dreamer. No, this guy stays. Yes. He stays.
This guy stays.
Sammy Callahan stays.
Stays.
The Christ brothers. Well, I don't know. You've seen them first. One of them.
I said a glimmer. For now, they still stay. For now, okay. OVA stays in there.
All right.
All right. Now, are you ready for my nomination for this week's?
Ready for your nomination.
Gringo Loco.
Yes,
the most useless white guy pretending he's a luchador.
Yes.
He's embarrassing. He's slow. He's fat. He's very unattractive. He doesn't have very much wrestling. And he thinks he's Mexican, and he totally is not. And he tries to wrestle like he's Mexican, but you know what? He totally does not.
No, actually, my nomination,
yes?
we saw this guy a few weeks ago.
Okay.
that stupid outfit that the Mod Father, whatever his name they call him.
The Mod Father.
Wore to the ring.
The Mod Father. What are we talking about? I remember this. What was the Mod Father?
On NXT UK.
NXT
Remember,
UK. Oh, yeah. I know that guy.
I forgot what his name was.
I cannot think of his name at the moment, but I know who you're talking about. He comes out stripes and all kinds of things all the time. Yeah. Okay, until we get his name, we can't put him in there, dude.
Man, we can't put him in there. We can't just say dude who looks stupid and calls himself the Mod Father.
Okay, for now we can go. I'll go with that because that guy is pretty ridiculous.
I'm not gonna. I was gonna put Scarlett Bordeaux, but she hasn't really done anything other.
Scarlett Bordeaux is just way too hot. She's not shameful. She's just
untalented.
Other
than lose tonight, Jax in her WWE debut, but.
Do you know who I was?
There.
You know who I'm very close to nominating?
Who?
Jenny from NXT UK.
Jenny.
Ugh.
Yes.
I swear, I almost got through that episode, and I kept saying, "Please do not say it. Don't say it. Don't say it." They had a little thing about her. They didn't say it. Then all of a sudden, stupid Nigel McGuinness and the fashionista. Oh, I just wanted to.
That word should be in the book.
Put that word in. That word is in the book. Fashionista. Give me a break.
You just made the book.
Yeah.
You just made the book of shame.
Well, folks, you know what? Before we get going, I said I had some news. Now, first of all, I should mention that the upcoming Elimination Chamber points pay-per-view game has a prize. The winner, what do they call him? He's the world champion?
The Wrestling POV world champion.
The world champion will win either a $50 Amazon card or the mysterious POV wrestling crate. Who knows what's in it? Could be dead spiders. Heck, it could be like it could be full of love potion. We don't know. But it's good to know that cheaters like Miguel and Elio, even though they may win the title, will be ineligible for the prize.
About that. I didn't win. No, Miguel Cole.
You didn't win, did you?
I won. I won without. Apparently, Miguel Cole forgot everything that we discussed.
They discussed stuff, folks. There's no collusion there. Anyhow,
there's no collusion.
It's important to note that if either of us, and let's face it, there's a snowball's chance in hell that I'll win, but if I was to win, I do not get the first prize. That'll go to the second prize winner, I guess. I think. Maybe don't kill me, Tony, if I'm wrong about that.
We don't get the prize at all. We don't get the prize at all. If you're associated with Wrestling POV or Wrestling POV Global, you can still win. You just can't win the prize.
That's right. And now, you know what? I have some exciting news, Elio. You know what I've been told by the president?
What's that?
That we are going to get our very first pay-per-view points game.
Wow.
And it will be based... It'll be based on the first All Elite Wrestling, please don't let your head explode, pay-per-view. So, hey, who knows? Maybe it won't even happen.
I'll try to keep a cool head.
But also note that there will be a first prize winner of ours, too, will also receive a $50 Amazon gift card or a pro wrestling crate. Who knows what's in it? It could be the global crate.
It could be a lifetime membership to OVE.
It could be that. It could be 2 for 1.
If you want, no, you can't win. But if you weren't associated with the Wrestling PV Global, you could end up winning a lifetime membership in OVE.
Yeah, I could do that. Who knows? Maybe it's
along with your best friend, I believe Dave or Jake.
I hate you. Anyways, going on, it could be full of T-shirts, stickers. Heck, it could be full of Canadian dead spiders for all we know. But, folks, we look forward to that. Elio, this has been a great week. We've managed to keep our blabbity blabs under an hour. I want to thank you for joining me, buddy.
Oh, thank you. It's been fun.
And I'm glad you survived the boredom. That was NXT UK, MLW, and ROH.
Yep.
Nick Aldis, if you're listening to this, you owe me my soul back. Just saying, brother. Well, I just want to throw out a great thank you to all the fans who've been tuning in. We're looking forward to any kind of questions you have. Elio, give out the whatever you call that stuff you kids call media, Facebook, yada yada. Yeah, give out the social media stuff.
Find us on Facebook at Wrestling POV Podcast on Facebook. Like that page, follow us. And you can also find us on Instagram at Wrestling POV, as well as on Twitter, and that account is found at Wrestling POV, and it's run by that little psycho puppet Miguel Cole.
Hey, are we on MySpace?
MySpace.
I'll take that as a
What's
no.
that?
I don't know.
What's
it's just a
that?
word I heard somewhere.
Oh.
Anyways, fans, we'll see you back in 7 days. It's been a heck of a ride. Let's hope it's a little more exciting next week. Elio, lead us out, brother. Say goodnight to the folks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are signing off, so we will talk to you all next week.
Wow.